Welcome to BarnBridge project called actually 11, never mind. So we're gonna start, Dragos is lighting his candle as everyone can see. Let's start off with a tech update. I'm gonna hand it off to Bogdan for the update on yield farming.
Thank you, Troy. Yeah, the usual. Start with all the bits and pieces and some small updates for each. Yield farming, we've sunset pool 3 about a week and a half ago, and everything went smoothly with that. We have like 95% of the bond tokens that were staked in there withdrawn and moved over to the DAO. To that, like a heads up, there's still like around 40,000, 39,000 bond tokens still sitting in pool 3. And whoever has those in there, hope you're hearing this, hope you're seeing this. Don't wait and bear gas fees, just withdraw, claim your rewards, and move over to the DAO and continue staking them in there. That's about it. You guys know how to use yield farming, so the end of poll 3 is the only update we have since last time. The BarnBridge DAO, we've successfully launched it, which it's already absorbed like almost everything from pool 3 in terms of bond supply. It sits at around 50% of the circulating supply in terms of bonds staked in it, so it's that's good news. We've met the activation threshold, like I think within a week. So that means that now anyone who has over 10% of the total amount of bond stake can create proposals, and we encourage you to do so. But like whoever's interested in doing that, you have 2 venues where you can discuss things. Like before adding them to the actual DAO, you have the signal vote, which is done like a snapshot environment where you just sign transactions, so you don't have to waste gas on transactions. And we have forums where you can have like longer form discussions. The snapshot is just for mocking votes. And about the snapshot, Dragos, I think, has some updates for that because we've had some problems with it.
Yeah, so the snapshot, so that's going to be signal.barnbridge.com. There's like an issue with it. It basically only allows members to post proposals. I mean, everyone can post a proposal, but it's not going to display there unless your address is added as a member. Even though I say only members false, it's not going to let me for some reason. I mean, it's not going to show them. I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. But nonetheless, if you do post a proposal and it's not displaying there for visibility, just like go in Discord, yell there, put a link to your proposal. I'm going to take that proposal and I'm just going to add you as a member and it's going to be visible there. That's the only workaround I've found. There's already like an active proposal right now, Smart Yield Junior Tranches on SushiSwap on Seed. So that's the only thing. I don't think there's anything else to do with Snapshot. But
I don't think either. That was the problem. And besides that, we still have a couple of more releases planned with polishes, some minor improvements to the DAO. So those are probably going to come around the next days or so. What's next? Smart Yield, I guess.
Form launch. We launched the form.
Oh, I mentioned the form, but I don't think what else I could add about it. It's just Dragos can go to like forum that BarnBridge. I said it's like we have. What did I say?
I don't know.
Rewind in the YouTube clip, and I think I mentioned we have like the snapshot thingy where you can signal like mock votes, and the forums where you can engage in like lengthier forum discussions, as you can see it right here. Yeah, can leave comments, be nice to each other, and yep, you have the proposals category, discuss them in here, add them to the snapshot, see how they're voted, add them to the DAO, and that should kind of be how the entire flow is for launching proposals. Smart Yield, I guess that's the update everyone wants to hear about.
Before that,
oh, come on.
No.
You do the updates, man.
No. I'm not sure if you mentioned all the releases that happened over the last 2 weeks after launch. So like constant like US improvements and adding that forum link, and then like improving and improving. I think we had like 5 releases since we've released the DAO, which was like pretty cool. Minor ones, but yeah, I just want to mention that because I felt that you forgot. So I'm gonna shut up now, and I'm just gonna like sit with my candle here and take it away, Mr. Bogdan. I'm also gonna stop sharing because, yeah, there you go.
Yep. So we're gonna have a couple of more releases, but everything we've pushed after the DAO launch is just minor stuff, like minor bugs, UI polishes, that kind of stuff. Smart yield, finally. Let's go like step by step through things. But everything is happening. Everything I'm going to mention is happening at the same time. It's all in parallel. So we're like back to full-blown launch mode. We have the contracts deployed on testnet. We're making sure they do what they're supposed to do. So we've set up a 2-week deadline for ourselves until launch. So we've been busy coming up with a bulletproof testing plan for this. So we're certain we cover all possible scenarios for the contracts. About the launch date, I think we've put it at the first week of March. This is obviously fully dependent on the audits. They could potentially bump us up a bit, but we should still be due for a worst case mid-March or somewhere around that release. It all depends on the audits. To that point, both audits are in progress. We've been in touch with the auditors. We're pretty confident that we're going to get some good news. More than likely we have some good news waiting on the other side of them. But yeah, the major focus right now is just connecting the front end and the back end to the front end to the back end and the testnet contracts. So we get to a good enough place where we can start testing how the front end works. And this way, when the time comes, we just plug it into the mainnet version of the contracts and release everything into the wild. Hopefully Marchish, first, second week of March. Fingers crossed for that. Smart Alpha, yep. Same as last time, but this time the contracts are in full-blown development mode. We've been to 6 different models until this point. All of them had their strong points and weak points. We decided on which ones to go with initially, but this whole entire exercise of going through different models might just have inspired even some future iterations of Smart Alpha, which may sound weird to talk about the V2 when we haven't even launched the V1, but that's just how far we're trying to think about this. And yeah, some more cool stuff planned, but I'll leave the guys to that. I think that about covers the dev updates. Thank you.
Cool. And actually something that's not on the agenda, but that has been going on in regards to Smart Yield and Smart Alpha, long-term planning, is that we have had some pretty concrete conversations around layer 2 options with Optimistic and Kane at Synthetics. So I know a lot of people inside of our Discord ask us about that constantly. Just know that there's a lot of work going into that right now, and we are one of the teams on the front of getting access to all that stuff. I'm gonna have to leave it at that. Can't say too much more. I've been told I really shouldn't talk too much about it. So just know there's work being done. Segueing, we also want to say welcome to Daniel, who is our bot master on the Discord. Maybe some of you have seen him before. This guy pretty much is the central nervous system of the entire Discord DeFi ecosystem. If you're in a Discord and there's price bots or anything, this is your guy. This guy literally pretty much runs that whole infrastructure. So he's actually been working on a bot for us it's kind of modeled after the way that we set up the DAOFirst mechanism and how we have multi-sig that the team actually runs. So Daniel, I'll let you take over because you've got a demo to show everyone. This will be a project that we actually just give away to the whole ecosystem. So any DeFi project that has a DAO, that has a Discord, can use this to help organize teams inside their Discord, which we essentially kind of look at as almost like this quasi reputation layer inside of the entire ecosystem where people kind of bubble up, and then this is a way to help organize that. So Daniel, if you're there, please just introduce yourself and do your thing.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't mind showing my face as well and showing my. Does it work? I don't see it.
It's an amazing background. Yes, we can
Yeah,
see it.
exactly. Yeah, I had a joke about that, so it's not a pretty prepared filter in Zoom. My daughter's room is the only one that was quiet enough for me to have this call. So okay, so yeah, that aside, I think Troy made an awesome introduction. Thanks for that. And yeah, I've done plenty Discord bots, probably in the range of hundreds by now. And I have to say, this one was one of the more challenging ones. And I got really excited when we started talking about it, and I really rushed to deliver something as soon as possible. It's nowhere near final version, so this is kind of an early demo to also gather some feedback. Yeah, see how we move forward. But yeah, looking forward to show it. So I might as well start it. Let me just share the screen. Screen number 1. All right, so yeah, you get to see my bots playground server with the keys to a bunch of servers, like Troy said. So you can see some of the bots I made for time. All right, so
I always say you could single-handedly crash the entire system if you wanted to manipulate all those bots and just freak everyone out.
Yeah, I think I have moderation rights in like 20-30 discords as well, so I could ban everyone if I ever go berserk, but I won't do that. So you know, it's one of the reasons I use my real name so people can trust me. So I'm accountable like that. So don't worry about it. All right, so there's a private channel. I've got some other people in this Discord, so I use the private channel to get started. So here's the bot. You can ignore the history. Yeah, basically let's try help. I think it's up, right? So I think Troy kind of made the intro. The bot is about making your own mini DAO inside the Discord. So you would use your Discord handles because everyone knows you by your Discord handle, most likely. So I built in some commands by now. So you can create a squad. You can then, after you have created a squad, you can add members. You can set like the multi-sig consensus. You can initialize a save, and get some squad details. So it looks kind of trivial by now, but trust me, there's a lot of work behind it, and the save creation is kind of a feature on its own because it's going to use Gnosis multi-sig saves. So yeah, let's get started on that. Let's create one squad. Yeah, let's call it BarnBridge Demo Squad. All right, so what you see happened is a channel was created automatically, and I was also assigned the role automatically, so I can lose this one. So this role was created in the Discord server and assigned to me automatically because I'm the default squad member. And yeah, I've got a channel here right under squads, so everyone can just create their own channels to be used for their squad. So I can descend into it. And now I'm in the context of my squad, and I can now start adding members. So the bot automatically, by knowing the channel you are in, knows which squad this is related to. So I can start adding members, add member. I've got some test users here. There we go. So the bot replies, he's been added. Yeah, this user now also has the role once he was added, and then we can get some details on the squad by just doing squad command. Yeah, it tells me you've got 2 members. Here they are. your consensus is 1 though, so you only need 1 signature to pass any transaction. So in general, probably we want everyone to sign, or at least you want something like 3/4 or more, so not just half of the signers. So I can set a different consensus. So 2. I did build a bunch of validations. So if I try to set more than I have members, so if I try to set 3, the bot will tell me you cannot have higher number than you have members. You have to add a new member. Yeah, so stuff like that. And you can also you see that I already assigned some wallets here, and you do that by saying set wallet. I can change mine to something like this, and then do squad again to reflect the change. So now it's ending it with 7. I'm just gonna bring it back because I need the correct wallet to demo the Gnosis safe. Okay, second. All right, so yeah, I think also good to mention, there's also validation in terms that no one who's that only people who are in the squad can use this channel to do commands. So yeah, I don't think I need to show it. You can trust my word, but yeah, so it's going to be safe. Your DAO is protected by permissions. So let's try to fire up a safe. So init safe. So the bot will tell you that it has a prepare the transaction with payload, and you can. So I had to build a UI for this to start off the transaction. And please note, I'm not a front-end developer, so this is how I build UIs. And this is where I'll probably need some help from some guys who want to do CSS and beautify it. So it's connected to my MetaMask. It's telling me which squad name is going to be created, what's the multisig consensus, and who would be the signers. And this is where I can fire off the transaction. And it's on testnet. So I'm just gonna let it run through. There is an alert saying your transaction cache is this. You can go back to Discord. DAOFirst Bot will let you know once the safe has been initialized. If we go back to Discord, yeah, we see that the bot was listening, and maybe you notice that first it was listening, and then it was checking, has the transaction been finished, and it has, so it's saying your safe has been initialized, and this is your safe address. So we can go to the Gnosis app, which is on testnet as well. I do have a production version as well, but yeah, I think gas is quite crazy now. I don't want to spend like $200 to demo this, so let's stick to testnet. All right, so we've got the test address, and we can load it here. Here it is. We called it BarnBridge demo. So when we do that, we see these signers that and this is our proof of concept basically that. And this was the biggest challenge for the bot. So creating the safe automatically. So it's really a DAO. So you have multi-sigs, you have your treasuries in Gnosis, and you control it via the app. And if you want to double check it, you can do squad again. And you can see the addresses are the ones shown on the app. So 04 and 02, here they are. So yeah, just gonna load the safe into my UI, and here it is. And the idea is that everything else that you need to do with your treasury, you just use the Gnosis app. That's quite awesome. And yeah, I think there's no need to use the bot for something like that. That wouldn't be intuitive. Rather, just use this really cool UI. To be honest, I think that's it more or less. So what's yet pending is doing some Gitcoin interactions. Like being able to take on bounties and finishing bounties and getting paid to that treasury. And yeah, I think after that, I need to have a feedback round with Tro and Mark, and of course everyone else is welcome to offer feedback and yeah, discuss what else is needed to make this a fully functional mini DAO bot.
That's awesome, Daniel. This is like you rocked this out in a matter of days. So like I'm incredibly impressed.
Yeah, you blew it away, man. This is like this is a lot more than we were expecting, and you know the time frame that you had.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
we appreciate it, man. You kick ass.
You know what took most time was doing this UI.
Oh,
And
really?
this is the result. I just can't do UI. That's it. You know, you can't be good at everything. You have to accept that in life. So.
Well, at least you're decent at it. You know, better than some. I don't know if I could have made such a great save, but we'll get it done on the UI side because I know our team has some great designers and we can get all that figured out.
Yeah, it's gonna be open source, I think. Well, I don't know if straight away, but eventually, so anyone can take on and beautify it.
Yeah, and just to clarify to the community, one of the nice things about using the Gnosis safe is that we kind of offboard all of that into another project. And inside there, if you have like a squad inside of inside of like a DAO, you can actually like use the capital that's given to you to do stuff to manage to actually produce more yield. So like you can extend your runway using those systems in there. That's kind of the idea behind it, was that there was no way for us to really be able to build an interface like that. So we're just going to let you guys use what's already built out there in the ecosystem. I'm really excited to see this in action. I really hope that other projects take it on also, because we're going to literally be giving this away. But we will be the first to use it. So, and it interacts really well with the way we set up our DAO, so that you can kind of create these mini teams connected in some way. I don't think we have anything else to talk about that, but Daniel, that was awesome. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. No, I won't make you it any more awkward. All right. So on to operations. Let's start off with DeFi Alliance. Akeem, do you have anything you'd like to update on?
I mean, things are going as they were going. Just having lots of conversations with liquidity providers. I think that's sort of like I think that's the best return of value so far. So just having conversations with liquidity providers, sort of getting them to really understand what we're doing with BarnBridge, hopefully setting them up to ape into Smart Alpha when it launches and Smart Yield eventually. Smart Yield and then eventually Smart Alpha. So that's going pretty well. We still have a few more weeks to go. Continue to build relationships that hopefully will help us going down the line. Some of those conversations are leading to interesting, just sort of going into other conversations around partnerships potentially. So I think some of those conversations are not just about our products, but also just longer term opportunities and relationships, which has been good. So we continue to push that through. I mean, other than that, continuing to just have some conversations within the community around proposals. So I think as we sort of start getting into the launch of Smart Yield, I think some of the focus, at least on my end, will start moving towards just thinking about proposals to get people, just understanding how to leverage the DAO as best as possible, and just putting things out there that kind of put a little more structure that would at least help people, know how to play a role. And so I think going forward, a lot of the attention is going to be around that, just trying to help in the community understand, and trying to sort of get a pulse and a gauge on what people want and what we can build to make it easier to sort of know how to contribute and hopefully add value. So that's pretty much it.
Cool. Yeah, that's been, how many weeks has that been so far? It's been like what? Almost 6 weeks?
I think it's more like 4. DeFi Alliance?
Okay.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right, cool. Moving on, Mark, I know you have some updates on the bounties. We haven't really been able to update a lot of the bounties because of the gas fees, but I'll let you kind of give the update on that. What's going on?
Well, that is really the update. We're just, well, first let me start off with translations. I know we've been saying we're getting some translations going. Just bear with us on that. We're like very close on a lot of them. It's just we've been updating the site and we want to make sure we can update the site and have all the languages kind of update together. We have a lot of new things, or we have products coming out very soon, and we've been slowly releasing a lot of the spec information for the smart yield. And so like we're going to be getting a page up for that. So we're kind of redoing all that with the different languages. So we're just trying to get the loose ends cleaned up with that. And then also, we haven't been really posting a lot of bounties. Like Troy said, the gas fees have been really kind of out of hand to be posting $50 bounties. Because to pay out the bounty, it costs, you know, $20. And then to sometimes, you know, put the bounty up, it costs, you know, another 20 or maybe even $100 some days. So it's just not practical for us to do it for all of them. But we're still having them, and I'll still be posting them in the repository so that people can, you know, do pull requests when we actually have when we have a bounty get set up. And we'll still be setting up bounties, but for the moment, we're just taking a break on Gitcoin just to save a little bit of crypto so that we can continue doing these bounty programs, and we're not wasting funds because we don't want to waste any money that doesn't need to be wasted.
Cool. Yeah, no, it makes total sense. I know that Gitcoin, you know, you can use like a layer 2 to do the payments, but there's no way to actually set up the bounties through layer 2 yet, because they use it's just strictly a payment.
Yeah, and that's actually the most expensive part. Paying it out is actually a pretty cheap. It's just getting them on the Gitcoin.
Yeah, because you have to put it onto the chain, and with all these people putting NFTs literally into the chain, we got problems. Okay. Anyway, so last but not least, let's move over to Pablo. Do you want to give an update on the website, what's going on in the Discord and all that?
Hey, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry guys, my internet was lagging. So as we are getting closer to the Smart Yield launch, we have been updating stuff on that. So we recently updated the website page about Smart Yield. We removed some outdated graphs, added the latest information, and other than that, we've been also working on the documentations and stuff. We recently posted the Twitter poll, and it looks like the most part of the people actually love what we've been doing with the BarnBridge DAO, meaning those 1-2 minute video recordings. So we'll just continue doing that for the rest of the tutorials and guides too. And also putting everything together. So it's always coming soon.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the update. There's a lot of activity going on in the Discord, guys. So as we get closer and closer to the launch, I think we all expect a lot more to be going on. So you know, the more the merrier, in my opinion. Okay, moving on. We're going to go to the roundtable, and as the community in Discord has grown, we are getting more and more questions inside of the comments that people want us answering. So we're just going to go through this list. There's like 4 or 5 here. The first one's actually for Tyler, but he's not here right now, so we're not going to do that one. The second one is for the devs. Okay, this is Bogdan, you could probably answer this. If you can share briefly in terms of coding and algorithm deployment, what are the steps involved in building out the yield and alpha products? You can give a short and sweet on that if you want.
And put Milad in a tough spot and maybe ask him to do that. I haven't prepared for anything like this. Plus, Milad was mostly involved with developing Smart Yield, so I would just be quoting stuff I heard from him.
Let's do, yeah.
The Smart Yield development started as based on a model Keegan shared with us, right? That we then iterated on that, built the spec, a lot of back and forth on that. And then we started just coding it in Solidity, writing tests against it. We started with targeting compounds. So the current version deposits everything on compound. So the yield is generated on compound, and then we tranche that into two different tokens, basically. Smart Alpha started similarly, but it's I guess it's just started to be coded, right? The spec took a bit longer there. We came up with many different models. It may still evolve from here, but yeah, that's the basic way of building these things. The team on each one is not that big, so not too many chefs on the code, but yeah, that's how it works.
Cool. And then this next question is actually for you guys too, but I might be able to answer it also. How are the devs looking to reduce computational steps, gas costs for complicated on-chain derivatives? Could you share any examples? I think this really, well, you could talk about how you, because you could talk about how you guys keep it simple in Smart Yield right now, and then it's kind of a layer 2 question.
Just one of the things about Solidity is that you can't actually loop on indefinite things, right? Like if there's a set of items that you want to take action on, they need to be really, really small and not growing. Like so for that, for example, on Smart Yield, we came up with a way to represent all the senior bonds in a very small structure that we call A bond, aggregate bond, that kind of represents very closely all the bonds that currently exist, right? And we take that as being the one big senior bond. So the calculations are, I mean, they're not cheap necessarily all the time, but they're finite in terms of, we know exactly how much time it takes and how much gas it takes. And as the number of bonds grow, it's not more expensive. It's the same amount of gas. Right.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Cool. Okay, those are your examples. Okay, so then the next question is, I'm only going to answer part of this. So is it possible for the team to discuss the project decentralization goals? So we've set out originally from the very get-go for this entire project to be decentralized from the start, to the point where we never even created a legal entity. We started from a DAO, and all the seeders and the original and the founders, we were all involved in the original DAO, which is called the Launch DAO. And that Launch DAO then seeded to create the BarnBridge DAO. The project has always been decentralized, and it's always going to be decentralized. Like if you look at the way the tokens are distributed, they are literally like mainly in the hands of everyone else, and not like in the hands of people on this call. So that's kind of all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to answer the other part of that question, Mike 9870, just because that gets dubious for us, and I don't want to be the spokesperson on that. The next part, Obi Stan Kenobi. So what aspects of the products will be up to the community DAO to decide? How will this process impact the release timelines? So this isn't going to affect the release timelines at all. The products will be out. Now the timeline for updating parameters inside the products, that's a different thing. But the parameters inside the products, we could probably go over that. We're going to put out a Medium article around the parameters of how Smart Yield works. But currently, the things that the DAO can control are the fees, the fee structure, like how much gets taken from a from a junior bond and then a senior bond. And then the other side is the maturity date of the senior bond. I believe that's correct, Milad. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
The maximum duration of a bond.
Maximum duration. Thank you. And I believe those are the three. Is there anything else in there that I'm forgetting?
No, those are the main things. The DAO can change there are two pluggable components into the smart yield. One is the Oracle, which calculates the yield generated by the pool, and currently we do a 3-day moving average of the actual yield generated, and the DAO can change that and change the way it's calculated, basically. And the other one is the algorithm, the formula that gives a senior bond, offers a senior bond and a yield interest rate, right? So that can be changed as well. Right now, it's based on the composition of the pool. The more junior versus senior, the better the senior bond interest rates basically offered. So those can be changed as well.
Cool. Okay. And look for a Medium article around all of that as we get closer to the launch. We're working through the specifics around all that right now. So that will become very clear as we get closer to the launch of all this. With that, I think we're done with Project Call 11. Unless anyone else has anything to say.
Yeah, I'll make a comment actually.
Go for it.
To I guess the last couple of questions. So I mean, I think ultimately it's whatever we make it to be in terms of participation in the DAO. So I've been in some conversations recently on the Discord of people asking questions on how they can contribute, and I've had one-on-one conversations with a few people. I think out of that, you know, the more conversations we have, the more we'll probably start looking at ways to maybe propose more structure. So I have some thoughts around just putting out proposals to just add more clarity and structure and how people can participate. I think there'll be a lot to do on the operational side to decentralize that. So everything from partnerships to, you know, marketing. Just think about any organization and the types of tasks and skills people need to add value. I think those things will be possible. So I think let's just continue to have those conversations. And as more conversations come up, I think it'll provide insights into sort of how we can just build more structure as it makes sense, right? We don't want this to be overly bureaucratic, but wherever we can sort of add direction and structure that helps people know where they fit in and how to add value, I think we'll, you know, that'll be the focus to do that in the early days.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to seeing, like, if you look at what's going on in synthetics, right? You have the synthetics protocol, and then you have these kind of the projects built on top of it, right? And those are being taken over by community members, which was kind of the plan, which was the idea behind what we asked Daniel to produce, was a way to really streamline that ability for the community to decide who should get allocated capital, and then that team could actually take control of that, and that the community could also monitor it in some way, and that the team who got it had an easy way of managing that capital to get stuff done if they had to. And that's where the Gnosis safe kind of came in. So we are definitely working on ways to streamline the organization and really turn it over 100% to the community. So I look forward to seeing what happens out of that also. So definitely look for more structure coming as these products launch and what gets built on top of all of this. It's going to be very exciting. So with that, I think we're there. Project Call 11 in the books. We'll see everyone in 2 weeks on the Discord.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Later, everyone.